Am I live? Almost alive. Can you hear me? Do I have volume? Do I have picture? Do I got anything? Up, we got people coming in. Tracy's a fractured history and more says, "Hey, dude." 257 says, "Thumbs up." Lance Chapin says, "Hiya, Thrash." Now, I was running a little late tonight, folks, and I didn't have a chance to really test my equipment. How are sound and picture this evening? David says, "Hey, Dave, hey to you too." And I'm gonna let more and more people fizzle in. Only 257 says, "At least it's not the awful 2023 Little Mermaid remake." Ouch! Ouch. John says Farrah Fawcett gone 14 years ago today, RIP, and MLK as well. Oh, I'm sorry. Michael Jackson, MJ. RIP to you as well. Bad day. That was a bad day. Lynn says, "Not too bad. That's okay." Can everybody hear me okay? See me okay? Sean Ennis, hello, Sean. Sean says, "Sound and picture are good." Tug says, "Thrash." Tug, how we doing tonight? Trey Rosemeyer says, "Hi, Dave and Lance." Tug says, "Hi, Lance, Tracy, and Sean." David says, "Hey, Tracy, a lot of fellowship going on here." 257, "For the love of God, don't talk about remakes. I shan't talk about remakes. In fact, I was actually going the other way. I was actually going to go with origin stories. But here's a little funny thing. I left the quiz trivia game, whatever you want to call it, on my desk upstairs, and I'm not going to leave you guys in the lurch while I go get it. But here's the situation. I did talk to Ian today. He's not going to be available for a chat tomorrow. So, in the interest of keeping the proverbial home fires burning, I am going to do a live chat tomorrow night as well. So what I'll do is I'll do the trivia game tomorrow, and today will just kind of be, I guess you'd say, general Q&A. And Tracy says, "Hi, Sean. A lot of people having fellowship. I'm going to skip down. And actually, I'm caught up. We'll see how long that lasts. If you guys experience any glitching, any bad sound, any bad picture, let me know right away and we shall act accordingly. I don't want to mess with anything now. One of the little problems I had is when I was trying to test my camera. Does this ever happen to you guys? The the cable splitter I put my camera into, it got bumped and I lost picture. And I couldn't simply unplug it and plug it back in. I had to shut the computer down and turn it back on. But anyway, we're here. 257 says 1989 Disney classic, The Little Mermaid. Huge fan of that movie. Oh, Vinton Harper is here. Justin, how you doing? Says your streams are like 60 minutes after the NFL. I always join in progress. Quite all right, quite all right. As long as you make it. The first 5-10 minutes of my shows are usually just everybody saying hello to each other. It's sort of like a reverse Waltons. Tug says, "Thrashlands, did you want to try to do a stream next Sunday? I am all over it. Just name the topic." Gary Carpenter here says, "Greetings, everyone." Shanina says, "Damn, my home is stuffy and hot. Was away all weekend. All ACs are on max." I haven't put mine in yet. Although I'm filming from my garage, I'm sure you know, and if you think it's bright in back of me, it's going to start getting dimmer. I put the garage door open to get some air in here. Lynn says, "Sure, why not? Good. I'm glad you're in as well." David says, "Yeah, not a fan of remakes, particularly Disney's." Let's just see what else we get going on here. Tug says, "I don't understand all of Disney's live action remakes. Not so much that they make them, they make money, but why people keep going to see them. They seem so soulless." Of course, because they're a cash grab. Tree says, "Not into Disney too much, but I liked Cinderella. You're a Cinderella story, Tracy." Shannon says, "Lag spike." Oh, buffering. We'll see. Ooh, Tug says buffering bad. Oh dear. Oh, and Hungry Jerk is here, but he's just listening. Well, you know what? If the buffering stops, great. If not, I might have to, shut this one down and either try to reset it upstairs or just for tomorrow. But anyway, let's think positively. Oh, Dave says, Houston, we got a problem with the audio sound. Oh dear. Gary Carter says, Geek, I'm getting it too. Um, we'll give it another minute, and again, I might have to shut her down and do it upstairs. Keep our fingers crossed, okay, guys? Oh, buffering. Oh, Lance Javen says, okay, Tug, remember the link. And okay, not seeing too many more people in the chat. Is it still buffering and lagging and having bad sound? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? If it's cleared up, I'm gonna press on. If it hasn't cleared up. Oh, okay. Tug says I seem to be back to normal. Yeah, sometimes you just get these little sort of. I've watched in a repeat, and sometimes I get them. There'll be these like brief periods where like this. It sounds like I'm talking like through an old modem, and things freeze up a little bit. But it's good on my end. Okay, Lance, thanks. Oh, 257 still has sound problems. Huh. Well, we'll press on for a little bit and then act accordingly. Oh, Sean, this is just a short spike a minute ago. It's fine. Oh, good. Tug says, I closed out and came back. Now it's fine. Oh, good. You guys may want to try that too. 257. Gary Kepler says, I'm trying to pick up on my other phone. And 257 says better now. Okay, so you know what? We'll press on, and I want to thank you guys for your perseverance. So, basically, do you guys just want to do general Q&A tonight? I'm good with that. Were there any particular origin stories that you were interested in? What made me think? I'll tell you what made me think of it. I haven't seen it yet, but people I work with know what a sci-fi buff I am. Everyone's been asking me if I've seen the new Avatar movie, the story of water, the life of water, the water of water, whatever it is, and I haven't yet. And one of my favorite bullet points about the whole Avatar franchise is how it's an homage to basically every vintage sci-fi book ever written. We had a conversation about that months ago where we talked about all the books that basically went into the making of Avatar. So I'm just like, I always find it funny when people say, "Oh, I love this, I love that." And it's like, well, did you know that actually came from an original story by Alan Dean Foster in 1972? They're like, no, I didn't. And I thought we could do something like that. But in any event, Emily Miller's here says, I don't know any generals. Well, there's a kernel of truth in what you're speaking. Gary, only 257 says, Gary, 1989 Disney Little Mermaid, my favorite movie. Justin says, Schneider seemed to spend an awful lot of time in the Romano's apartment. He certainly did. He certainly did. Which is funny because he was the soup. You'd think he'd have to be all over the place. No, like 90% of the time he was just hanging out with them. I believe, I believe in the first season he had a wicked crush on Miss Romano. Ms. Romano, I'm sorry. That kind of went away. But the life and sad ending is here, and he says Avatar sucks. But the source material was great. David says, hey, but I think your audio has big issues. Oh dear. Well, if anyone else is experiencing, let me know. A lot of people saying hi to Steve. Shannon says it's on Max. To me, it's boring and will continue to bore for 3 more movies. Wow. Tug says, I don't hate Avatar, but I don't care enough about it to bother watching the sequel. Lance Given says, Emily, you missed Dave's membership stream today. Emily Miller says, I never saw the first Avatar. Just don't look like my thing. 257 says Geek, the sequel was okay. Tug says, the Unapologetic Geek, Tug, great video today. It was on Colossus the Forbin Project. I absolutely love that one. While we're on the subject, there's an Asimov short story. It's only like a couple pages long. And the whole thing, oh, there's going to be spoilers here. The whole premise is it's about a supercomputer that Earth builds. And it's actually in space. It's a satellite. And they communicate through radio. And basically, the whole thing is just them talking about how great and wondrous this achievement, this supercomputer is. And it switches on, it goes online, and they ask it its first question. They say, "Is there a God?" And the computer goes, "There is now." That I think too is an origin of Colossus the Forbidden Project, or the reverse. But your story made me think of that today while I was watching the video. And Tracy says, "Sorry, Lance, I was out and about all day today." Shauna says, "Stephen, I'm guessing that's King, is back, and apparently in his next 3 films. Gah, he is a good actor, but it tells me the writing is poo." Wow. A lot of people saying hello to Emily. Gary Carpenter says, "I love the first Avatar. I've not seen the second one yet." Emily says, "I'm always out, Tug, even when I'm here." Denny says, "Greetings from South Carolina." Denny Stainton, welcome to the party. David says, "Sorry, Pawns, thought in chat room." Oh, thought it was in the chat room. So is it your equipment, not mine? Well, either way, Dave, don't worry about it. Hopefully it works out. Try logging out and logging back in. That might help. 257 says, "Gary the Blob movie from 1958. Tug says, "No worries, Tracy. I didn't have a live stream today." Oh, no, it wasn't a live stream. It was his video on Colossus the Forbidden Project. Or Forbidden Project, more like it. Dave says, "I don't get Avatar at all, so I probably won't get like part 2. Lance Javen says, "Tug, what's the topic for next Sunday?" That's a good question. Oh, Jonathan says Stephen Lang Thrash. Oh, I thought it was a misprint. It was Stephen King. Sorry, Sean. Stephen Lang it is. I'm not familiar with Stephen Lang. I'm sure I've seen him in something, but I thought you were talking about Stephen King, who was also both an actor and a writer. Dave says he likes part 2. Tug says, "Lance, I think we're going with cult classics of the 80s. Ooh, I got a whole mess of them." Sean Innes says, "It was really good video today, Tug." 257 says, "Toxic Avenger." Oh, someone just said hey to Daryl. Daryl, I didn't see. Oh, there he is. David, I'll come in again. Darrell Johnson says, "Hey, David R." Darrell Johnson, my other brother. Good to see you. 257 says, "Return of the Living Dead, one of my favorite cult classics." Evan Miller says, "Tug, why not switch things up and do classic cults? Because the 80s were better." Meh. David says, "Any scene They Live?" I'm guessing it was They Live, not They Alive. But yes, I do. I have seen They Live, and it's a great movie. 257 says, "Night of the Comet, my favorite holiday movie of all time." Formers Content says, "Hi, Thrash and Chat." Formers Content, so great to see you. Welcome to the party. 257 says, "Night of the Demons." Definitely. Gary Carter says, "Don't like zombie movies." Yeah, you and David hate zombie movies. Not Dave Sunstrom. You and Superplex. That David. Lance Javen says, "The Last Starfighter." Oh, maybe you could get Catherine Stewart. I butchered her name. I'm sorry, but the young lady who was in both Last Starfighter and Night of the Comet. Since Tug, she's a friend of yours. Tracy says, "My next chat is on Rock and Roll Pioneers. Sounds fun." Emily Miller says, "No, instead of cult classics, do classic." Oh, classic cults. Oh, now I see what you're saying. The actual cults, like the Cape Cod Demon Shark cult. Yes, that would be a good one. Yes. Ken Wilkins says, "Good evening, Bob. Good evening to you too." RTT 2000 says, hi, Thrash. RTT 2000, I'm so glad you made it tonight, by the way. Welcome to the party. I'm glad you could make it. It looks like we're just doing general chat tonight, by the way. Long story. But a lot of people are making suggestions for Tug's next show, which is going to be next Sunday on 80s cult films. And that's basically what the conversation is now. So feel free to let us know your favorite 80s cult films. Shadina says, Tug, exactly. Lang is in all 5 movies as the same character. Wince. Uh, 257 says BMX Bandits. Justin says, what did you think of the family dynamic of the birds? Jessica Tandy, Mrs. Brenner looked 50, Rod Taylor looked 30, and his sister was like 10. Just seemed like odd character backstory from Hitchcock. Yeah, was that something about Hitchcock? Hitchcock never let little things like facts get in the way. He thought that family dynamic worked for what he was trying to do, and so he did it. Great movie, by the way. Emily Miller just jumped off the page, says Davy Jones, Crockett Tracy. Tug says, funnily enough, I could talk about old cults. I spent some time studying them at university. Ooh, that could be a fun topic too. Dave says, again, sorry for my grammar is not the greatest. Dave, neither is mine. We get on like a house on fire. Let's just see. And everyone else seems to be sharing my opinion. Uh, Emily says mine isn't either. David, there you go. You see. 257 says the ET movie. Yeah, that would count as a cult flick. Liz Jim says, what about Cult of Personality? And Weird City says hi, Thrash. Weird City thanks. Hi to you as well. We're talking about 80s cult movies right now because Tug wants to do a show on it next Sunday. And Gary Carpenter says, what kind of cults are you referring to? Jamin says, or Culture Club. 257 says, my favorite zombie movie, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, 1978, Day of the Dead from 1985, Return of the Living Dead, and Flesh Eaters. Those are all absolutely amazing movies. Absolutely amazing movies. I'm a huge fan of zombie movies, as I'm sure you already know. David says, Young Frankenstein, possibly my favorite comedy of all time. That's a 70s film, but it's certainly a great cult comedy. David said, it's pronounced Frankenstein. And then Igor said, it's pronounced Igor. Really? They told me it was Igor. Well, they were wrong then, weren't they? Emily Miller says, Gary, all of them religious, political, they all have something about them that draws the loyal. Ooh, yes. Very ominously put. 257 says, weird science movie. Love that movie. I actually went to a party. Well, I was at a party that was also attended by Ian Michael Black. Not the Anthony Michael Hall character, the other one. Justin says, Flight of the Navigator is a one-off movie that I loved. Showed the liquid metal thing before T2. I had completely forgotten that. Tracy says, my birthday is on Wednesday, so I am thinking about watching an old movie. Any suggestions? Ooh, that's a good question. You can't go wrong with Young Frankenstein. That was suggested. I would always go with a comedy on your birthday. Although, if you want a classic, do Casablanca. Weird City says 80s cult, bad taste, cheesy little New Zealand number. I think I've seen that one. I don't recall it, but I think I've seen it. Tracy says, Les Javen says to Tracy. Emily Miller says, Tug, be glad they don't use something tasty. Tug says, Tracy, you can never go wrong with Casablanca. There, you see, we're all saying Casablanca. Sean says, better off dead. Big Trouble Little China, the usual. Young Blood, Jack's back for us, Cynthia Gibb, stalkers. Let's just see what else we could go to. Oh, and of course, Ken Wilkinson says happy early birthday, and as do I as well, and I'm sure everyone else will say the same. Uh-oh. We jumped again, but I think I'm gonna be able to get back to yeah, here we go. Emily says, Tracy, how old are we talking? Never ask a lady her age, but I'll tell you what, she's 2 years younger than I am. 257 says 1981's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's actually a TV miniseries. The movie was from 2005, 2006, I forget. Gary Carpenter says M, Satanic Love, etc. Emily Miller says the movie, not your age. Oh, I get it, I get it. 257 says Back to the Future. Oh, Tracy does answer 56. Oh, so we're the same age. I thought I was older than you for some reason. A Weird 257 suggests Ghostbusters. David says, I believe the singer of Weird Science was Oingo Boingo. They did the main number. A friend of mine used to have the soundtrack. Emilio says, Topper movie were fun. Abbott and Costello. I love Abbott and Costello. Oh, and 257 suggests anything on from MTV. Yeah, they actually used to show a lot of old cult films, believe it or not. Tug says the original Sabrina is a good classic comedy. It certainly is with Humphrey Bogart. Lance Javen says Danny Feldman. Shannon says Danny Elfman, frontman for Oingo Boingo. Yes, and they were on the Gong Show in like 1978. Believe it or not, that's actually right here on YouTube. Danny has given us a link. Thank you very much. Oh, and 257 says Geek, the Top Secret movie. I love the Top Secret movie. I was just talking with somebody about that one. Emily Miller says, the only Sabrina I like is the Teenage Witch, but above. Justin says, a movie called Grotesque was horrible. It was grotesque, actually. But the backstory of the cast is interesting. 257 says Kentucky Fried Movie is the movie and the Groove Tube. That would make a phenomenal double feature, the Groove Tube and Kentucky Fried Movie. Tug says Sean, he hates the Weird Science song. I don't know who he is, but sorry. Dennis Jayton has given us another link. Thank you very much. David says, really, Danny Elfman, sweet. And Justin says, everyone had a thing for her, Emily. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the cartoon, or the live action? Oh, and let's see what else we got here. I jumped. Oh, Lance David says, or Airplane. 2F7 says, this is Spinal Tap. Love that movie, too, by the way. Shannon says, The Sure Thing, another 80s film with Cusack. Cusack did some amazing cult films. I still think The Better Off Dead is my favorite cult classic with him. David says, and don't call me Shirley. And I'm just going to skip down a little bit behind. Lance David says, what's your Victor? 257 says, Gary, the Wizard movie. Do you mean Wizards, the animated Ralph Bakshi film? One of my favorites. Tracy says, since my birthday is on a work day, I would love to go out, but since I have to work the next day, I can see that. Oh, look who's here. Corey's Comedy Channel. Hey, Corey, what's going on? Says, yeehaw, Thrash is live. I'm so sorry I missed your live chat. I was asleep. It was 4 a.m. my time, but Corey, I'm so glad you decided to be with us tonight. Danny, would you be kind enough to give us a link to Corey's Comedy Channel? And Corey, you're putting out some great stuff, and thank you very much. A lot of people having fellowship with Corey. Dave says my birthday is on July 11th. A couple more weeks, I'll be the age of I don't know. I wish I didn't know my age. And let's just see what else we could go on here. Oh, the Naked Gun movies, 257 mentioned. Corey says, hello, everyone. You guys are awesome. No, Corey, you are awesome. Liz Javen says, Tracy, wait till the weekend, then go out. Good plan. Emily says, never cared for the Wizard of Oz. I think I'm the only lesbian who feels that way. I actually saw John Water hosted a film festival I went to about 25 years ago. And John Waters is actually a really funny person in real life. He's funny when he does interviews, but like if you have to like actually be in the room with him and to like pick up the energy. He's just amazing. And the funniest thing he said, among many other things, he said, the one thing he couldn't understand about the Wizard of Oz is why Dorothy wanted to go back to Kansas. He goes, I would have stayed in the Emerald City with ruby slippers and gay lions. I mean, to him, it seemed like a paradise, but to own their each. But Tracy, you made me, Emily, rather, you made me think of that. 257 says Amazon Women on the Moon. We now have a triple feature with Groove Tube and Kentucky Fried Movie. Throw in Montevideo in there as well, by the way. Oh, and Tracy says, LOL, happy birthday to Dave. Prelated. Weird City says, good cult movie, Rocky Horror Picture sequel shock treatment. You can actually find that on YouTube. The entire thing, it's actually on YouTube. And to be honest, I think the soundtrack of Shock Treatment is better than the original. You know, conceptually, that movie was going to be more like The Truman Show, but there was some type of Screen Actors strike or cameraman strike. There was some kind of strike when they were trying to make it, so they ended up having to shoot the entire thing on a soundstage. So rather than have the entire community be the set, like in The Truman Show, the idea was they brought the entire community into the soundstage and imprisoned them there. Tomato, tomato. But I just thought it was interesting that having seen The Truman Show years later, that it was more into that. 257 says weird good movie. Let's just see what else we got here. Oh, I think I jumped again. What you mean is here? He says hello, everyone. Hello to you too. David says, let's get those nerds. Yes. Tracy says to Justin, LOL, funny arse names. Mama's Family. Oh, that was very sad about your Mama's Family story. I'm very sorry for your loss. Corey says, you guys are so wonderful and amusing. I'm here of all the good stuff. Danny's given us a link. Thank you very much. Shannon says, Raising Arizona and Blood Simple, Coen Brothers movies. The later is often overlooked. I don't know if I've seen Blood Simple now that you mention it, but I love Raising Arizona. Gary Garber says, how's our patient doing today, Tracy? She was sick for a while. Oh, and again, Denny, thank you for dropping those links. 257 says, Pawns, it's a movie with Fred Savage. I'm sure I've heard of it at least. Oh, Helen says, Tracy watched Clockwork Orange. Wow. I see. Justin is talking about Wizard with Fred Savage. That's the one about the video game competition. Okay, yeah, you're right. Now I'm with you. Steven says a great double feature right now would be a Periscope and Run Silent, Run Deep. No Dust Boat. I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard not to laugh at that. Corey says, good to see you guys as well. Thrash is the king of the live streams. Thank you so much. 257 says, Sorority Babes and the Slime Bowl Bowl-orama. I recently saw that. It is such a terrible movie. It really, really is. Daryl Jones says, how about everyone hit the like button? What do you say? What he said, we have 20 people in and only 12 likes. We can do better than that. Tracy says, Casablanca sounds like a plan. Okay, I'm gonna go back now because I think that caught me up. So I'm gonna drop back to where here we are. And by the way, I had to do a little skipping around, so if I missed your comment, please forgive me and repeat. Yeah, this is where I think I came in. 257 says, Gary, my family member is watching X-Men movie on Max. Danny's giving us another link to what you mean. Thank you. Emily says, exactly, Kansas was still in B&W. Yeah, I know, right? In black and white, it sure was. Oh, John Bernstein is here. I'm so glad you made it a little bit earlier, John, because remember, you literally came in as we were closing down last time. Welcome to the party. John Bernstein says Dorothy wanted to go back to Kansas because it wasn't Nebraska. I can't argue with you there. Um, Gary Carpenter said Wizard of Oz and The Wiz. Good double feature there. Sean Innes says, not even Glenda the Good Witch, Emily. Unidentified real appeal there. David says, tomato might eat your neighbors. Attack of the killer tomatoes. Attack of the killer tomatoes. I know I'm going to miss her. A tomato ate my sister. I even have the sequel to that movie with John Aston. Yeah. Superplex. Oh, Superplex is here. Superplex says the real question is why Dorothy wasn't pissed off with the Witch of the North when she informed her that she only had to click her heels twice to escape. Well, because then there would have been no adventure. But yeah, she really needlessly complicated things. Gary Carpenter says, don't forget I'm a huge Godzilla fan, as am I. Length case. He's been wicked busy, and wasn't able to do last week, and again can't do it tomorrow night. So that's why I'm temporarily taking over in his stead. Let's just see what we got going on here. Daryl Johnson says, "Hey David." Justin says Glenda was in Copper Returns. She was. Oh, and thank you, Denny, for giving us another link. You're amazing. Emily Miller says Glinda wasn't good. She was thrilled when Dorothy killed one sister, then sent her to kill another one. You raise an excellent point. Shanina says Thrash Blood Simple is a straight up film noir, is completely different to Raising Arizona. I've heard good things, but I've never actually seen it. I really should. It's funny. There's some great films I've just never get around to seeing. Tracy says I don't think I can watch movies about submersibles right now. Yeah, I know, too soon. 257 says huge The Wizard movie fans. Pawns. Pawns is what my granddaughter calls me. Weird City says high life and sad ending. I'm almost caught up. I think I'm almost caught up. Not really. But Tom's still here, and a shout out to you, Tom Hungry Jerk. Glad you're still here. And Shannon is correct. Noir. And let's just see. I'm gonna have to skim because I'm way behind. Jenny Staten give us another link and says, be sure to check this one out. Emily Lewis says Glinda wasn't. Oh, I already read that one. I'm gonna skip down. Says David is Tracy watching Howard the Duck. Steve says Thrash, you need a new battery in that clock above the fridge. I certainly do. I mean to change it for like weeks now. Good call. David says, like Wizard of Oz, hated MGM manage done to Judy Garland. Oh, it was just terrible what they did to that poor girl. They gave her an eating disorder and everything. Danny's giving another link. Thank you. Tug says, I hit that like so hard, it looked like a bobblehead tomorrow. Let's see. 2007 says Vintage, it's a terrible movie. Weird City says, why? That clock's correct twice a day. You is a good point. Actually, it's just moving around just enough to never be accurate. Sean says, Emily Glinda was a little naughty. Okay. And Tug says, it's still right twice a day. Yes, very good, very good. Another link for Danny. Gary says, David, not only them, but her mom as well. Good point. So, guys, welcome to the replay. And I'm just going to skim down, trying to catch up here. 257 mentions Red Dwarf. Feature film about that, I thought. Zublik says, so has it been established that ENC is now officially over? No. He's unable to do last week, which is why I took over last week, and again this week.